Lorenzo is from Albuquerque, a musician by heart who came to the borderland to visit Juarez. But he also felt the need to visit the unofficial memorial to the victims of the shooting. Like so many others, he was shaken by the tragedy.
It hit close to home, man. It just, and I don't know. It's hard to explain. First it was disbelief and, sadness. There was no way I could not come. I did not expect to feel the emotion that I did upon arriving, man. I'm a combat vet. I've seen a lot. I've been through a lot, and seeing trauma is one thing, but it's you feel the emotional pain over here, man.
To deal with the emotion, Lorenzo decided to answer back by sharing his music.
When I see a place that's appropriate, I pull out my guitar and I start singing. Buenos días, Paloma. When I got here, I never felt the need to do it more, man. And so these are the songs you become a pro at singing, these velorios we call them, these alabados. And I actually feel honored that I'm able to do it.
When faced with such a tragedy, people react in different ways. From singing a song to lending a hand to make sure we never forget.
Because of yesterday's weather, the American flag came down. So I'm trying to secure this properly with a bolt so that the American flag stays up and I can hopefully re-raise the flag in accordance with the way it's supposed to be. As an El Pasoan and as a Marine veteran, I just feel like it's, something I need to do.
Leo Mendoza is one of many El Pasoans who comes to the memorial regularly, keeping it intact.
And it keeps growing and growing. It keeps growing and growing. But that just shows the love that all of El Pasoans have. We don't ask if you're Republican or Democrat, if you're this or that. Hey, we're El Pasoans, all of us.
One day, this memorial will be removed. But there are plans for something permanent so that El Pasoans will always have some place to go to remember. With News 22, I'm Marcos Cueto. Here are my mom and sister making lunch. While this may seem like a normal day, we and the rest of the world are facing a reality like we've never seen before with the coronavirus pandemic. While my sister, Natalie, is enjoying cooking with our mom now, she's going to be spending most of her time training as a nurse in the postpartum unit at Las Palmas Medical Center. With it being classified as an essential job, she goes to the hospital 5 days a week.
Yeah, it's just been hard to think about how it's affected everybody's life and, having those patients going through a difficult time and having to go through that alone. And so it's kind of somber mood at the hospital and a little bit of fear because we're hearing about how in other cities hospitals are running out of PPE and stuff like that. So just the fact that I'm going to be getting put into that environment, it's a little bit scary.
Working in a hospital, Natalie has been a direct witness to the effects of coronavirus.
So at first they just started limiting visitors to where there was only one visitor allowed for each patient. Now they've gotten to the point where they're not allowing visitors at all. And also whenever I get to work, they take my temperature every day.
The other essential worker in the house is my dad, Daniel, who works for Westar Bank in downtown El Paso. Although the bank, like many others, has become busier, they're able to do more to ensure safety.
We're doing a lot with video conferencing or teleconferences. So they did divide the rest of the staff between different offices just from a safety issue and making sure that there's enough people available to do the work that needs to be done.
Aside from my dad and my sister, there's also my mom, who faces her own challenges due to the pandemic.
My parents are elderly and they depend on me for their groceries, and I actually have to go inside and cook for them and clean and do their laundry, and that's scary. So I just, I don't go up to them. I try to stay away, as far away from them as I can.
More than anything, my mom is just sad about the time lost.
Because we used to go on Sundays, all of us, over there and, have lunch with them, because they're by themselves. And it's sad the way this, this thing is changing our lives. And hopefully it'll, return to normal soon.
While we may feel more alone than ever now, I am confident that we will get through this together. Marcos Cueto, News 22. Pete's Patio officially opened its doors in January of 2019, first as a bar and then later as a full restaurant. Since then, Pete's Patio has proved to be a great spot for students to wind down with a cold drink, work on homework, or maybe a little bit of both. NMSU student Nathan Treviso, who was skeptical at first, has since come around to take advantage of what the cantina has to offer.
So I was a little skeptical when they first opened Pete's Patio, just because obviously New Mexico has a problem with like drunk driving and underage drinking. But I think putting it on a college campus kind of takes away that taboo-ness, I guess, because obviously college kids drink. So I think by making it a safe place, it kind of eliminates some of those future problems that could arise.
While many here on campus would agree with Nathan, those at WAVE, or the NMSU Wellness, Alcohol, Violence, and Education program, were opposed to the idea of Pete's Patio from the beginning.
When the idea of a pub came up, it was brought to us, I believe, and that was in 2016. The then ASNMSU president came and asked for our input on the bar, and we simply, specifically because of data, did not support the bar being put in. WAVE is not an abstinence program, we're a harm reduction program, but we had some reservations about the idea of a pub or bar being put in the student union.
When it comes to the idea of having a bar on a college campus, health education specialist Piper Colson mentioned 3 significant problems. Number 1, students who've had problems with alcohol in their house will now have to see the bar every day on campus when they may have been trying to find an escape. Number 2, students who've struggled with alcohol or alcoholism will now have to face the extra temptation caused by Pete's Patio. And number 3, data shows that when more alcohol is available to people, crime and especially violent crime rates go up, from sexual assault all the way to homicide. With all this in mind, Pete's Patio does have measures in place to make it as safe as possible.
We do have a 3-drink limit per person who is of age. We do check IDs. It's possible for people of age to drink over the limit, with the exception of getting our management involved. And they take notice if they are intoxicated or they're not intoxicated. If that does happen, we do have a log that we keep here, and we sign off, oh, so-and-so had this many drinks and in this amount of time, and they show no signs of any type of intoxication, and said manager approved of them getting another drink.
Despite the measures, those at WAVE believe the safety of those on campus should be the priority.
There are risks that come with allowing something like this to be on our campus, but my question would be why? Why now are they bringing that in? And is it so they can make more money? And if that is the reason they're doing it, then at what cost are they willing to put on the risk for students to do that?
Marcos Cueto, News 22.